Because what's the point, for example, of being a doctor but not enjoy it every day that you're in the office?
Something negative, or don't do this or don't do that, naturally you'll feel upset. Naturally you might even cry.
The more I practice, the luckier I get. Who would you marry? A doctor? Another actor?
Maybe younger.
So who's bigger, a producer or a director?
Or
a story writer? Nobody talks about a cameraman. What is your message to people who want to get into acting?
Don't get in.
But it contains an action part, an action piece, where you have to defeat a few people with a banana. Would you accept that role?
Stay consistent would be the most important. The moment you're not consistent, then it's not for you.
Tell them no, who knew failure wasn't an option. And with their enthusiasm, their energy, and most of all, with the help of dozens of hardworking and very generous collaborators, you all guessed his name. You all guessed his name, Bizhan!
I mean, I don't know about you, Bizhan, but I can't believe we've got this far. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that's someone who's watching this at 3 a.m. instead of sleeping. Welcome to Raw Talk, where we strip off the layers and talk about the real, raw truths of life. You know, on this show, we bring on guests, we ask deep questions, and we sometimes throw in so much drama that even a Bollywood scriptwriter would say, okay, calm down. But my friends, today is special. Today we have a guest who doesn't watch movies, he lives them. When he acts, he doesn't just act, he becomes the role. He's somebody who's passionate and who's a dreamer. He is none other than Bizhan Neromand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. It's really an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. To start off, I would like to ask you, do you ever have normal conversations, or does every conversation sound like a monologue?
No.
An emotional monologue?
No, it's always a normal conversation, just like the one we're having right now. But depends on what the topic is. And if it requires a monologue, then we will give a monologue. But normally it's a normal conversation.
It's a normal conversation. Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Another thing that I would like to ask is, do you really believe that you're going to be a future movie star, or is it just a very expensive hobby?
Yes, I do believe, and I will try to. I mean, I've chosen this path, so I have to give it my best. And if I feel like the end result, it depends. Like it's not in your hand, but what you can do is you can give your best at right now and leave the rest in God's hand. But you should always believe in your goal, and if that's what you want to do, and if that's what you want to become, then if you don't believe it yourself, then how would somebody else believe in you? So I think you should believe in yourself, and you should if that's what you want to do. If I want to become a movie star, if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become an engineer, you need to give it your 100%, and you need to believe in yourself for you to achieve such thing.
Excellent. I'm actually I watch you and I follow you very closely on social media all the time. And wherever there is a new video of yours uploaded, I watch it very closely. And I really admire, because what you do isn't easy. It must be very difficult, isn't it? It must take a lot of hard work and, toil to be able to do what you do.
Yeah. Are you referring to the Bollywood recreation videos?
Yes.
Yeah. I see them as like a passion. I really, really enjoy creating them, planning them, organizing them. It does take some time to plan, organize, and shoot, because they require location, outfits, who to do it with, who to collaborate with. So all of that requires a lot of planning. But when I look at the end result, I really enjoy it, and it's a passion to. It's my passion to see myself in those roles that I do in those recreation videos, and I love it.
Yeah. And when did you actually realize that you wanted to be an actor and not something very, that traditionally has been passed down generations? We know that there are a few very revered professions, very respected and admired professions, such as, for example, somebody wanting to be a doctor or an engineer who can get a job as soon as they're out of university.
Yeah.
You decided that no, that wasn't the path that you would go down.
Yeah.
But acting, when did you actually realize that that was what you needed to do?
Yeah, so basically I went to university, I did my undergraduate, I did my master's, I got a first-class degree.
Nice.
After finishing off uni, I went into working in a bank. And every day, I worked in the bank for 3 years, and every day I was working, it was getting more boring and more frustrating, more suffocating. And the longer I stayed there, the longer I felt like, okay, this is not for me. And I knew I had a bigger purpose. I had other plans in mind, and acting was one thing that was always within me. And I loved watching Bollywood movies from a very young age. I think a lot of people will say this, like, I love watching movies from a young age, but the less people will actually action it. So so it was always a passion. And after finishing off my uni, after doing everything that I had to do, then I went into acting. And once when I noticed that, okay, this is what I want to do, I had to develop a skill. So that's when I went to India and I did some acting school there as well.
Right.
And I came back with more knowledge, and I started those recreation videos after some time too. And I feel like it's still very, very beginning stages for me. There's a long way for me to go. But yeah, this is how it's kind of started.
Yeah, there's always this discussion, whenever I'm with my friends and family and, in other gatherings, they always talk about, social media and people who are actively partaking in social media. And sometimes we talk about, your role as well. We talk about your performance as well. And it's good actually to listen and hear from yourself. How would you rate your performance on a scale of 1 to 10 so far?
Yeah, I think.
And why?
Yeah, I think I'll let the audience judge by going through the videos and stuff. But if you ask me, I feel like there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done. However, from the first video that I've uploaded to now, I can see myself that there's been a lot of improvements. And I noticed these improvements because I remember when I did my first video, it used to take me ages to do one cut or one scene. Now I could do it much more quicker, so it's more time efficient. So knowing these little things are making me notice that, okay, I'm getting better at what I'm doing. The facial expressions or any kind of the scene that's required, or lip sync, or anything that's required, I feel like the more I do it, the better I get. And I think slowly I am getting better at what I'm doing, but I still feel like there's always space for improvement. And I feel like you can ask anyone, you can even ask Shah Rukh Khan right now, I'm sure he would be like, there will still be place for improvement, even though he's such an icon. Yeah,
definitely. So how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10? I want a number. Would you say a 10? Would you say a 5?
I wouldn't say a 10, maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there. But hopefully I'm working towards a 10, but that 10 can take years to come. But we should always work on improving ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I also agree with you, because if we were to give ourselves, in whatever profession we were, if we were to give ourselves a 10 out of 10, then we would mean that we have stopped growing and that we're not improving anymore. So if the profession I am in, for example, if you were to ask me, I would probably not score myself a 10. And what I'm doing right now, I'm learning every day as well.
Exactly.
As we go along. That's brilliant. Do you have enough support, or do you really think that people are backing you in terms of I'm not saying financially,
Yeah.
but do you really think that they're giving you the much needed support, just as you would expect people to give an artist? Or do you think that it's not really there?
Yeah. I think there's very minimal people that actually supports me in what I do. And I don't blame them, to be honest. It's a path that I have chosen myself. It's something that I want to do. And if they want to support me, great. If they don't want to support me, that's perfectly fine. But I've still chosen this path. I'm still going to continue the way I'm doing. And I think we shouldn't stop because we're not being supported by someone or by others or by family members. And I think if there's something that you have chosen to do, you shouldn't give up. I was watching a video of Nawazuddin Siddiqui, a very well-established actor, and I believe he spoke about that he struggled around more than 20 years, I think. He was struggling until where he is right now.
Yeah.
So if he had given up back then, 20 years is a long time.
It is.
He wouldn't have been where he is right now. So I think there is always struggles. There's people putting you down. This is in every profession, especially in creatives like acting and filming and all of this. There's always people putting you down and they've got a reason as well. Their point is that financially you're not going to be able to cover your expenses and make money.
And that's why at the beginning I said it's a very expensive hobby, or is it something that you really believe you would be doing in the future as well?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are very minimal people that have turned this into their full-time profession and started earning as well, which there is potential to, but it's something that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time, and you need to be very patient with it. You need to give it your 100%. You need to be very consistent, and consistency you will eventually get to your goal. Everybody has a time that will come. Your time will come, and it can come tomorrow, it can come in 10 years, it can come in 20 years. We don't know. So whenever it does, it will come, but you just have to stay consistent and trust in your Lord.
Absolutely. Consistency matters. And keep knocking on that door.
Yeah.
And eventually it will open. Leonardo DiCaprio once said that if you're doing what you're doing best and you're happy with it, then you are further along most other people in life. So it doesn't matter if people do not approve of, what you're doing. It doesn't matter if there aren't much support, as you said yourself. But because you believe in yourself, because you know you're doing it the best possible way and you're happy doing it, then why not just continue? Because what's the point, for example, of being a doctor but not enjoy it every day that you're in the office? Yeah. You might go to the office, you might go to your clinic, or you might have a surgery, but you don't like to see, for example, blood, right? You don't enjoy it. So to enjoy what you're doing is what really matters, to be happy what you're doing.
Exactly. It's because time really goes very quickly. 20 years, 10 years, 15 years later, you'll look back and you don't want to regret the opportunities that you had that you could have taken. Maybe for me, like if I was still working at the bank, I think most likely now after so many years, after 5 years, 6 years, I would have been able to be maybe a manager or maybe a store manager or something along those lines. But would I be happy still being there? So I don't think so. I would have been more miserable. I would have been more upset. So I think not just in acting, any career path that you're in, it should be something that you enjoy. Of course, financially, you have to be able to cover your expenses. So if you're enjoying it, then that regret, you don't want to have that regret after 10, 15 years, 20 years later that I wish I did it this other way when you had the opportunity, but you couldn't do it for any kind of restrictions. And there's restrictions in everything, to be honest. It's how you see life and how you find solutions for you to carry on with your passion.
Yeah. And I think if the path is easy, that's going to lead to mediocrity. It's not going to lead to greatness.
Yeah.
If your path is difficult, you know that the end result is going to be very good. It's going to be great. And that's how people accomplish greatness as well.
Yeah.
So say if tomorrow you receive the call from, Bollywood, for example, and they ask you that they are going to remake a movie of your choice, what would you go for? Which movie would you
Would they
choose?
cast me in the role
Yes.
as the lead character?
Yes.
To be honest, I'm a diehard. You might have noticed by now, I'm a diehard fan of Shah Rukh Khan, and I think I'm not the only one. There's so many people that's diehard fan of Shah Rukh Khan. Any movies of Shah Rukh Khan, I would love to, but the only issue is like nowadays they've been doing so much remakes of Tamil film, Malayalam film, and all of those movies, but they're not being able to. The turnout isn't being that great, so it's just a big risk for them to be remaking such thing. But any of Shah Rukh Khan movies, something like Veer Zara or Devdas, not that I will be able to do any better than him, but it will be a dream to see myself in those characters. But at the same time, me doing these recreation videos, technically it's a way of remaking or recreating, So I kind of live that life through my own videos as well. The good thing is I'm free to choose whichever scene, whichever movie, or whichever part of the movie that I want to create and replicate it. But yeah,
you've come. If you in hindsight, if you, for example, look back many years, like you came off the back of a very. You produced a couple of movies yourself, Salam London and City Twist.
Yeah.
And Salam London has over 168,000 views, which I actually, before this show, I just had a look. And if you look back all those years, I think you've come a very long way, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got 122,000 subscribers on Instagram.
Yeah, followers.
Followers.
And
if you put that into perspective, like if you've got a very long road ahead of you, or for example, you've got a massive plain of land right in front of you, and you bring 122,000 followers in front of you, that looks massive, doesn't it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, to be honest, you mentioned Salam London. This was around 5-6 years ago. We started filming for that movie, and we had no funding, nothing. It was just my personal savings that I was spending for our day-to-day activities, day-to-day shoots. I have lots of really good memories, but I had no experience in acting. I had my Dari, which I was speaking in the movie, it wasn't that great. I think now it's much better than then. So there was a lot of struggles, and thanks to the whole team of Salam London for bearing with me, and we'll manage to do it. If you watch that movie from the beginning to end, you'll see the last hour getting really much more interesting because our acting got better, our filming got better, a lot of things got much better towards the end. But it's one thing that it will always stay with me because it was something original, something that was produced by me and acted as the lead character. And it was my own production team as well.
Amazing.
So that was that. You mentioned City Twist as well. City Twist is very special because we had like a really massive premiere in Leicester Square, and there was a lot of people that turned up, loved the movie. And we'll see if we can do a part 2 to that as well in the future.
Nice. So you are planning to produce more of similar movies?
If we do get a good script, to be honest, our production has become so much better compared to when we did Salam London. So it's a dream to do a new project, but a script is very, very important. If you don't have a really good script, then you'll be wasting a lot of time, money and effort. Yeah. So hopefully if we do get a good script, then why not?
Yeah, and more experience.
Much more experience. I feel like if I do Salam London now, I'll be able to give so much more better performance. But that's the beauty of it. When you look back, you're like, okay, you've come from there to wherever you are now, and how much you have developed in the process.
Yeah, we talked about Salam London. In one of the, there is a dialogue going on between you and some of the other actors, and that I would call them the villains, maybe.
Yeah.
At one place, I think you guys are in an auditorium.
Okay.
They come in and they try and tell you something. They try to tell you off.
Yeah.
And then I think it makes, I would like the viewers, they're going to now see the scene that I'm talking about from Salam London.
تو بسیار زیاد طالع کردی امروز اگه نیده دان تبله میزدم مگم خیر باز میبینم
If you could talk me through that, whether you're really smiling while he's giving you that,
I think I remember which scene you're referring to. I think it was a canteen scene. To be honest, that
it was a canteen.
Yeah, it was canteen. That specific scene, that was the first day of us filming. So like that was the first day of me being in front of camera with literally zero experience. And it was really interesting because we got everybody together and managed to do that scene. I think from what I remember, it was that specific day was really hilarious. I couldn't stop myself from laughing here and there. So when he was giving me the lines, he is a serious, the villain is trying to tell me off, but I'm trying to laugh at him like, yeah, whatever, like, yeah, like I don't care what you're saying.
Okay.
There was more of that thing. So if I was laughing, maybe it was because I'm trying to give a reaction like I don't care what you're talking about. So it could be something along that line. Okay. Or maybe I was actually laughing because I was finding it funny. So it could be either way.
Yeah. I was scrolling through the comments on Instagram on one of your videos, and one of the guys said, basically giving you a lot of accolades and a lot of praises, showering you with praises, and saying that I think it was one of the videos you recreated.
Yeah.
Which was from one of the movies Shah Rukh Khan was acting as the lead actor. He said, "Well done, bro. There is no difference between this video you've created and the original one. The only difference that there is because he is Shah Rukh Khan. He is famously known. He's a superstar. That's the only reason why he gets more recognition. Otherwise, you've done really well."
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, these kind of comments are what motivates me to do more, what motivates me to do better. Of course, nobody can ever replace Shah Rukh Khan or be like him, but we can always learn from him and take the good things from him and apply in our lives. With the recreation videos, we do get good comments like this sometimes, and this is what motivates us to do more and more videos, and it's nice. Thank you to whoever that wrote that comment.
So what was one of the weirdest advices you've received about your acting career?
I think that the advice that you just said, like everybody becomes a philosopher very quickly. These kind of advices come on a daily, I think, not just to me, to a lot of creatives. So like change your career path or like choose something else. These kind of advices come quite often from different people. Most of the time it's your friends and it's your close family that gives you this advice. And sometimes the strangers would shower you with praises and would talk so positively about you, but the people who are very close to you would try to put you down, or like as simple thing as like they all watch your stuff for sure. All of them watch your stuff, shares it with their close circle, but talks negatively yet again about what you do. But if there are in a circle of people, and if they do mention your name in a positive way, they're the first person to be like, "Oh, I know him, he's my friend, or he's my family," or something. But at the same time, they're not. They would give you those negative vibes, and you can tell when people are like that. Sometimes people are two-faced. Some people are like very friendly in front of you and then behind your back in a different way. But it's life, man. You just have to move on and don't let anything stop you from your goal. I think once you have that mindset of, okay, this is my goal, I don't care whatever people say, whoever that comes along the line, then you stop giving you stop worrying less and focusing on your goal. I think that's the best way forward.
This actually leads me to another question. Do you feel like you're in the spotlight? Like, for example, if you're entering into a hall where there are a lot of people, do you think like everybody's focused on you? They're all looking at you as if there is a spotlight following you wherever you're going, trying to see what you're doing, how you're acting, how you're reacting. Do you ever feel like that?
I think,
and does that not get too claustrophobic for you? I want to get out of that and, be like the rest of the people. Stop looking at me. Stop staring at me. I'm just like a normal person here at the gathering. Want to just enjoy myself, have a chit chat, and then move on.
Yeah. No, I like the spotlight.
Do you?
I mean, depends what kind of circle I'm in. If there is like a group of creatives, we're all the same. We're all having fun. We're all talking about similar stuff. It's cool. Everybody's supporting each other. I mean, there's very less support between creatives as well, but there's like everybody's equal. Everybody's having fun. But if it's like a circle where you're the only person from this specific field, I think so if you're the only person from this field, people will notice you and people want to talk to you about certain things. But I like it. I like talking to people. I like telling them what I do. I'm very passionate. I'm very proud of what I do. I'm very proud of my own videos, to be honest. The fact that some of them have hit 15 million and 10 million views on TikTok and Instagram, it makes me proud. I'm sure there must be something that it's reached so many people and so many people have loved it. So I'm quite cool about it. Yeah.
Excellent. No, that's really good. Why is it that our people, meaning the Afghans, talk so negatively or think so negatively about acting? I think acting is a very, very good profession, because through acting you can, carry so much and so many messages over to people and teach them through acting. Yeah. I think it's a brilliant thing to do.
No, I think it's also a brilliant thing to do, but I understand their perspective. To be very, very honest, we don't have many actors. We don't have many movies.
Yeah.
And it's not the actor's fault as well. It's the thing is, it's not the audience fault as well. We don't hold a film community of a group of actors or something. It's very rare. We have maybe a few, maybe a handful. And like the last Afghan movie, what was the last Afghan movie you watched?
Oh, the last Afghan movie I watched, was yours. But before that, I can barely remember.
Yeah. And that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's been no other movies that's been relevant with the current audience. So we don't have an active cinema, and that's why like their reasoning is because firstly we don't have actors in general, secondly we don't have a cinema, thirdly there's no money involved in it. Like you can't make your money back. Even if you spend thousands or hundreds of pounds in a movie, you wouldn't be able to get your money back. So they have got their point why, like in an Indian community, millions of people are very, very supportive. There's a lot of money involved. People are loving it. They're overnight they're becoming superstars from one movie, and the audience are really, really enjoying it. So it's like our community. I don't know when this will ever change, or will it ever change. But yeah, that's the reasoning why our Afghan audience are not really supportive of actors, films, even though it has a lot of positive message.
What would you name? Have you ever thought about naming the Afghan film industry? What would you call it?
Naming.
Have you ever thought about it?
No, I haven't actually.
No.
But there's like Hollywood has Hollywood, Bollywood has Bollywood. I mean, India has Bollywood, America has Hollywood.
I've seen. I don't know whether I should even say this or not. But people say Afghanistan's film industry is Hollywood.
Holly is referring to empty.
Yeah.
Empty wood.
So do you really think that if, for example, tomorrow somebody appeared, that, okay, I'm going to rebuild the film industry of Afghanistan and I'm going to invest millions of dollars into this industry and make it boom, and whoever works for it, whether that's an actor, director, story writer, they're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you think that people's perception will start changing just because of money?
Facts, yeah. It would. I think...
So really, because when they say, no, you shouldn't be an actor, you should be a doctor, it's not really about the profession itself, it's about the money.
It's a bit of 50-50, but I think more towards the money side. I think the moment you have money, everybody starts respecting you. And you would be able to, people will start accepting you more, people will start listening to you, your families, your friends, everyone. I think money plays a big role in life, and I don't know if you have experienced it yourself as well, but the moment you have money, everybody is respecting you, everybody wants to be part of your team, everybody wants to work with you. because you need to invest. But of course, money is not the only thing, but it's one of the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that. And earlier, just before this show, you told me a story about meeting one of the directors.
Yeah.
And sometimes meeting these people who have reached somewhere, who have accomplished something, and who are, for example, who's a big director, or for example, who's a big producer and admires you, that lifts you up.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
Morally and mentally, and you know that, okay, I may have done well. That's why they're praising me. But the moment that person, especially not any Tom, Dick, and Harry, but if, for example, somebody who has accomplished something starts criticizing you, that must be very disheartening. How do you keep going on? How do you continue to work towards your aim when you are constantly criticized and you're constantly told, no, you're not good enough?
Yeah. As much as people will say, oh, negative comments or negative behavior from someone doesn't have an impact, it surely does. Like, I think especially when it's close people, especially people that you look up to, they say something negative or something that you want to tell yourself that, okay, like I always mention this myself, that don't let anything stop you from your goal. Continue. Even I mentioned it today earlier on. But the fact that when somebody is so close or somebody is so personal, somebody like an expert tells you that, okay, you're doing it wrong, or something negative, or don't do this or don't do that, naturally you'll feel upset. Naturally you might even cry. I've cried as well in the past, like in my car or before I go to sleep, or like even maybe in the toilet, but of course nobody sees this side of the side effects that something negative can have on someone. But yet again, I always say there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So you need to keep going. And if this is what you really want, those kind of things, you need to try to use that to your positive and work on it. If it's something that could be worked on, if it's something like as if your acting isn't great, you have the possibility of working on your acting and stuff. If it's more like, okay, this career is not for you because you're not making enough money, try to somehow balance it, find another job on the side to have some earning from that so you can cover your expenses and pay your bills and stuff, because at the end of the day, we are living in reality.
Which one do you do very well? In a serious role, in a comedy role, or in a romantic role?
Yeah. I don't think I have a comedy you don't know. To be honest, I haven't done much comedy stuff, even on my recreation videos or in my actual 2 movies. It's both been quite serious and romantic. So I really like the romantic side. I think I got that off Shah Rukh Khan's watching him while growing up. So I think a bit of serious and a bit of romantic, a balance between those two would be really nice. So a bit of action, a bit of romance.
Right. Do you have a plan to do comedy at all?
I would love to.
Some of these actors, like for example, if you talk about Bollywood actors, for example, I'm not going to name any, but some of these actors used to, back in the days, have their roles in some of the very action-packed movies.
Yeah.
And then later on, they evolved and they
comedy.
became...
Somebody like Akshay Kumar is a good example. So he was chosen in movies and stuff just because of his action and how he was so trained. And I don't know if it was MMA or whichever sport it was, karate.
Yeah,
but he very later on down the line, he started comedy. And that became a big thing for him. And people know him for all his amazing, fun, happy movies. Even I love all of his fun movies. So yes, you don't know what's there for you until you actually try. So maybe comedy might be a thing in the future. Let's see.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Would you share one of your very happy experiences from your careers that you've had throughout?
I think there's been several happy experiences that while we're speaking, there's 2 aspects that we speak about. One thing, we're talking about my actual movies like Salam London, City to West Tamil. Another aspect, we're talking about the recreation videos, which are more Bollywood related, Bollywood recreation and all of that. So there are two different areas that we're discussing. From my movie side, when we had a premiere in Leicester Square for City Twist. There's a lot of amazing influencers that came down. There's a lot of cameras, photos, videos. We gave like speeches in the cinema in Leicester Square in the heart of London. So that was something I really enjoyed, and it was a moment that I'll never forget. Another time when I did my TEDx talk on the TEDx platform.
I've seen that. I really liked it. Yeah.
that was quite nice. It was around 20 minutes long. It felt like I was talking forever. I really enjoyed doing.
How was the feedback after that talk?
Yeah, really nice. I've always loved TEDx. To be honest, I watch random TEDx every day. When I'm driving, like I listen to it in the audio, or when I'm in the studio working, I listen to different ones. So to see myself in that platform, that was an achievement.
It is.
I'd say, and I loved it. So that was one thing I was really proud of, those two things. From the recreation and stuff, whenever like Yash Raj Films comments underneath my video saying, we love this, and they do that quite often.
Okay.
Or like reshares it on their stories. So it gives me a booster, like, okay, these guys are approving my work, you know, so it must be good, and it keeps me going. Or like the actual actors, like Sharda Kapoor, you know, she liked my recent Ek Villain recreation video herself. So it gives you a bit more energy, and that's okay. You're doing good.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't just like it. They should actually reach out to you.
That's the goal. I mean, that's the goal. Let's see.
Yeah. Have you ever pretended, for example, in order to get a role, in order to get this very, very important breakthrough? Have you ever pretended that you have a set of skills that you don't have? For example, you don't have it, but you pretend you have it just so you could get through. And for example, riding a horse. It's very important, you know, when you're an actor to be able to ride a horse. But as soon as you are approved, because you know how to ride a horse, you've got the set of skills, so they approve you and they ask you to come for the shooting. Yeah. And then the next moment you are on YouTube, you know, trying to find out how to not die on a horse.
Yeah. I did a Punjabi music video. It's called Black Suit, by a very big label, Speed Record or something along that line. They have like more than 40 million subscribers on YouTube. And the first thing they told me when they said there's going to be this, I was too excited. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I got there, and I'm a very I'm not a professional swimmer, but we had the pool and I had to dive in.
Wow. Okay.
So the first thing I was diving in, and I was like going on my belly on the water every time. Yeah. So that was wrong. So they were like, no, forget it. We'll do it a different way. And then they told me that, okay, now you're going to smoke a cigarette and keep blowing it. Okay. And this was like 2 years ago. And I was really against holding a cigarette in my hand. So I was like, sorry, I can't do that. I can't blow a smoke. That was two things already. Second thing, they were like, okay, we've got a car. You're going to be driving this around. And it was a really nice classic car. And I've been driving automatic for some time, so this is a manual car, and it was a very classic one. Right. I mean, I could drive it, but it kept going off every 2 minutes, every 2 cuts, it was going off. So they actually called a stunt double to drive that car, but I did. We managed to work with it. So yeah, there is times, but it's just been a few times, not much. But I think everyone kind of to get somewhere, they do say a few things. But it's always good to be original and be yourself, because you don't know what's around the corner. Yeah, I always say I'm professional Hindi speaker, and whenever I start speaking Hindi, you can tell from my dialogue, from the way I speak.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. But I think it's because also. It also comes down to practice, you know, because if you don't practice, you don't get better. Yeah. One of the golf players, I don't exactly remember his name, but actually I didn't even read this myself. I was on a plane traveling to Dubai once, and I was reading a book. It was about Buddhism. And on a plane, I'm traveling to Dubai and I'm reading a book about Buddhism. And then there's a guy sitting next to me. He's asking me what book I'm reading. He was somebody who was actually really into books. And he told me about, I don't know what the conversation was at the time, but he said, we talked about practicing and trying to get better. And one of the golf players played a very difficult shot, which a lot of people didn't believe that he was going to be able to score or get it so near to that hole. He did not only get it into the hole, but the shot was so good that the ball went into the hole. And at the press conference, the reporters asked him, that was a really good shot. Would you be able to recreate that? Would you be able to play that again? He said, actually they asked that it was really lucky for you to score that.
Yeah.
And they said, the more I practice, the luckier I get. So it's all about practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You talked about, being able to swim professionally, being able to speak Urdu really well or Hindi really well. It's all about practice. Because when the moment comes, you've got that under your belt and you're able to show it off.
Yeah. I think nowadays,
Okay.
if somebody wants to become an actor or an actress or anything creative, they should always be ready. There's a few things like you should be ready. And a big director actually advised me this. They were like, you should always be ready that you, for example, your health, your wealth, your health should be really good. You should be in really good shape.
Yeah.
Second thing is you should know Hindi if you want to go into Bollywood. Like you should be fluent and like these things. There was a few more stuff that I've just forgotten right now, but you should always be ready. Because you don't know when the opportunity will come.
So have you taken that on board?
Yeah.
Do you work towards trying to better those things?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in India, I had a Hindi teacher who's actually teaching me Urdu and poetry.
Nice.
And he said, once you learn Urdu, Hindi will come to you naturally. So I did a bit of that, but I'm still with him through Zoom. We're still practicing here and there, but there's always place for improvement.
Of course. Of course.
I think the more you practice, the more it comes to you, just like you mentioned.
Yeah. If you, for example, got a lead role in one of the movies, Bollywood movies, but it contains an action part, an action piece where you have to defeat a few people with a banana, would you accept that role? Would you accept to be a lead actor in that movie? I don't know whether you've seen that, but I've seen on social media.
I think there was a scene like this already, right?
This man trying to defeat some people using
and
a
I think,
banana. Would you do it? Would you?
I mean, yeah. It depends on the story of the movie. If the banana is like, I don't know, full of powers and something, and it turns into a gun, maybe it's a cover for the gun or something. It really depends on the script of the film. But yeah, it's good to try. It's always good to try out something different. I don't know. I would need the...
Yeah. What movies do you like? The movies that they're making now or the movies that they used to make then? Like, for example, the movies of Amitabh Bachchan, Ajuba, or some other, for example, The Burning Train.
Yeah.
Would you like them to make movies like that, or have they become better?
There's been I feel like there's been the last 3 generations. So first it was like, for example, the Amitabh Bachchan and all of those... amazing actors, and their films were very, very detailed, very nice, very professional. And then we had like the Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, all of those eras. They're still ongoing. And now we're having the new group, like Ibrahim Ali Khan. I don't know if you know Saif Ali Khan's son. His movie just came out recently.
Okay.
And like Junaid Khan, Amir Khan's son, and there's a lot of new actors and actresses being introduced now. The last handful of actors that's been coming, not much people have been liking their acting and stuff. I really, really loved the period when it was Shah Rukh Khan's time, Salman Khan, and all of those time around 2000. I think those are the time when the good movies were coming, like Veer Zara, Devdas, all of those amazing movies. But nowadays, I haven't seen like a good Bollywood movie for a very long time.
Right.
It's been some time, like the last 4 years, 3 years, there hasn't been anything like wow, like you loved it. There's been a few, but not like so many. Like Bollywood used to be very different before, so I think it's losing its magic a little bit as well with the new cast and new crew. I guess it's a change, every 10 years, every sometime there's a new change that takes place.
Yeah.
I wonder what the future of Bollywood will be as well, because right now there's been all our favorite actors are getting old now.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you if you're alluding to the fact that what will happen to Bollywood if, for example, Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah.
stops. You know.
I mean, he's not going to stop for sure. He's going to continue for a very long time still. He looks amazing. Just recently when he did the IFA Awards, I don't know if you saw, he was all ripped and dancing on Dar de Disco. So
Yeah.
he still looks really good, and there's still a long way for him. But yeah, we do need like new actors and stuff as well. Let's see what happens.
Also, just a question: why did you actually like Shah Rukh Khan so much? Why not? And why didn't you pick another actor? Why didn't you pick somebody from Hollywood, for example,
Yeah, I think.
or someone else from Bollywood?
Yeah, I think Shah Rukh Khan, if you watch his interviews, the way he speaks, the way he talks about women, the way he talks about so many aspects of life, he's so good. Like you just naturally like him. And also, besides his movies are amazing as well. I think he has most of the best Bollywood movies. Internationally, everyone loves him. In India, everyone loves him. Like all around the world, people know him. He's like the brand ambassador of India, if you think about it. Besides that, I think his character, the way, like there's a lot that you can learn from him.
Yeah.
And I just love his character. I just love the way he speaks. I love the way he performs. So all of those aspects, and there's things that I can learn from him. So that's one of the reasons why I'm his fan.
Yeah. Besides, he's a very good human being.
Very good.
And as the women say, he respects women a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Don't you think that you have to get married? Give them that lucky life that they are actually after, that they are craving so much, to be with you and to be your life partner.
It's nice.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
In simple terms, when are you getting married?
I think I'm still very young, to be honest. Not about age, actually. Marriage, I think it comes, sometimes some people are getting married at the age of 20, 19. Sometimes people are not married at the age of 60. So you can't really put an age for marriage, I think. I think it's something that it comes naturally. Whenever you meet the right person, I think you would know, and you would know that that might be the right person. But for me, I feel like I have so much things that I want to achieve right now. I'm so busy in my own world. Like I'm doing so much right now. I have this recreation videos. Then I'm thinking of doing another movie, like a full feature. Then I have my own business of social media marketing, which takes most of my time. And I think financially, you have to be really in a good stage for you to get married and settle down. You don't want to be doing like working every single day while being married. You know, you want to give time, you want to go on holidays, you want to be able to enjoy yourself, and you want to have a peaceful life. So I think people may disagree with me, but I think for me, it wouldn't be anytime soon, from what I can think of. But I think marriage is a very sensitive topic for many. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Are you happy?
Very happy, yes.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
So if a girl comes along, and tells you, I don't really need money, I don't need all the luxuries of life, all I want is to be with you, please marry me, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to keep you happy for the rest of your life, would you still consider money and, fame and career and all of those things, or you would just say, why not? Let's get married.
Yeah. I think a lot of time...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because love is more important than anything else, isn't it?
In the start of any relationship, I think things like this do kind of come up with your partner. You would end up saying these kind of things, but I think after a couple of years down the line, things do change. I think maybe you might have more experience as a married person. A lot of other aspects are very important in life. How important is money for you on your day-to-day to cover your expense and stuff?
Actually, to have enough to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and meet your daily needs.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't need money for anything else, because money can't buy you happiness or love. Because we see, if for example, money could make you successful, we have so many people who are moneyed, who are very rich, who have illustrious lives, but in their relationships, they're still not happy.
Yeah.
If money was really the case, why weren't they happy with their wives?
Yeah. No, that's also true. There's so many aspects in marriage, to be honest. I guess once you met the right person.
Who would you marry? A doctor, Another actor? Who?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
You haven't thought about it.
I haven't thought about it, to be honest. I haven't thought about marriage in general, but there's an actor called Akshay Khanna. I don't know if you've seen
I
him.
know.
He's still single, and he speaks about it, like being single in such a positive way. He really inspires me.
Right. I think he's still single because of, that movie Dil Chahta Hai.
Yeah, he felt in
I
love.
think, the girl he fell in love with, she passes away in that movie
Yeah.
because of cancer, I think.
Maybe.
And that's why he's still single.
No.
Don't you think?
Could be, potentially. That's a really good movie as well, Dil Chahta Hai. I might watch that tonight.
It's actually my favorite as well. And I've watched it a few times already.
That was
The songs are amazing.
yeah. Farhan Akhtar was the director of that movie, and he was so young. I think he was 23 years old when he directed that movie. Yeah, maybe younger.
So who's bigger, a producer or a director?
A
Or
director.
a story writer? Nobody talks about a cameraman.
That's a very
My
good.
cameraman there, invisible.
No, that's a very good question. I think a movie is made with a team. You need a team of.
Sorry to interject. All the focus is on the actor. You get all the recognition. You get all the fame. The rest, nobody talks about.
No, that's also true. That's very true. What happens is that a movie is created as a team. If I want to make a movie, I can't do it by myself. I need somebody to write the movie, so the writer comes in. I need somebody to produce the movie, money to pay the expenses.
Yeah.
I need a director to tell me which way to go, which way to not to go, to act the way that they want me to. I think every person in a movie, in a film production, plays a key role. Even a person that's an extra, just walking past you to create that environment in the scene is very important. The background dancers that are behind you to make that environment fun, happy, they're very important. I think it depends on how you look at the perspective. The actor, he's just like a furniture as well. He's just like a spotlight too. He's being told exactly what to do, and he's following orders from the director or from the team. But every single person has a key role.
I went to a studio.
Yeah.
This new movie that was released, Kandahar.
Yeah.
I was, should I say, lucky enough to be invited. We went to the studio, and it was a dubbing studio.
Yeah.
I had to say a couple of lines, and this was going to be used in the movie later on. And I actually went there and I humiliated myself because I know nothing about acting.
Yeah.
And they told me in that studio, actually the director of that movie was there, and he told me in that studio that acting is not about pretending, rather being natural. Be what you are. Don't try to be fake. And I was up to that moment, I was actually thinking that acting meant that you had to fake it up. You had to pretend that you are something that you're not. You're a character that you're not. Isn't that true? Are you not faking it? Are you really going naturally or with the flow?
Yeah. I think the moment when you watch a movie and you feel a point comes to your mind, like saying, okay, he's doing a good acting or bad acting, that's when you know he hasn't done his job. It shouldn't feel like he's acting or she's acting. Like, it should look very natural. I think a lot of time, something like method actors, they go into character, visualizing themselves as that person in real life. And a lot of time how it works is you use your life experiences. Let's say, for example, there's a scene where, I don't know, like, I'm your brother, you're my brother. I have to somehow believe that you're my brother. I have to imagine my brother, like imagine you as my brother that I actually have, and see you as him, and really get into the idea, into those characters. I think, you need to believe that that's you, and get into those characters.
How do you financially sustain yourself?
Yeah.
Do you have an inflow of income from these videos you create, or do you have something else you do as well?
So I have my own studio. It's called A&B Film Studios, and also besides that, I do social media marketing. I have a small team of people where we run companies' TikTok and Instagram accounts. So it's just a marketing team. And that's where my main source of income comes from. So we do their marketing campaign, we create videos, reels, Instagram, TikTok for the brands. And there's a variety of brands that we have at the moment. Not too many, but enough to keep me going. So that's where my main source of income comes in. And then studio work and my own acting jobs here and there. So these kind of incomes, there's a few incomes that comes. I use those to fund my passion projects ongoing. Yeah.
In your next movie that you produce, would you cast me? And if you would, as what? What role would I fit? Would I fit best in?
I think you're a hero yourself, my brother. No, you're a very good-looking guy.
Maybe somebody who drives a police officer's car. Somebody who drives.
Is that something that you've been interested in?
I've seen this, on social media. This, Ajay Devgan, and he has a driver, and they're chasing somebody, and a train passes by.
Yeah.
And the guy they're chasing is on the other side.
Yeah.
He has to go under the tree, under the train,
comes out.
And then by the time he's out through the other side, the train has already passed. And then he comes back, sits in his car, and then drives off. Yeah.
I think
in today's day and age, who does it relate to? The producer or the director? I think the director, isn't it?
I think this is the way the script has been written as well. And then the producer is not so associated with all the factors that happens in the movie. They only care about the outcome financially. So like how much money it's going to make, that's their question. They don't mind about what's happening in the actual film, if he's going under the train or over the train. But I think the director and the scriptwriter, and sometimes the actors, has an impact in writing, in creating the next scene. So maybe it was his own perception. Maybe it was written like that. But yeah, I remember that scene. It's quite hilarious.
Okay.
I'm actually quite good friends with his team.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah. Whenever they come to London, we meet up and we go out and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of things have changed. I mean, that was one of these hilarious, scenes that I saw after a very long time. There are YouTube channels dedicated to these kind of scenes.
Yeah.
And they recreate them, and they cut them from within the movies, then they try and show people what we used to watch. We thought was really genuine, but look how funny it looks now.
Yeah.
Even the sounds of punching somebody has changed. It used to be dishum. Now it is like it's more realistic than it used to be. The sound of a revolver or a pistol used to be really funny. It would echo, but now it's different.
I think audience are becoming much more critical than before. Before, people just used to watch movies to come out of their sadness, come out of their normal life and just enjoy,
or just be in cinema in the AC, bleeping.
No, just to enjoy the film, just to watch it, like not think about it if this is going to happen realistically or not, etc. They just used to watch it for fun, to take a break from their actual life. But now people are watching it very critically. They're really analyzing little things, and they're going in detail with like something like the sound of the bullet or whatever. So it's becoming much more critical. Cinema's really changing, and
Great. What's your favorite Bollywood movie?
There's been a few different ones. To be honest, all of the Shah Rukh Khan ones I love. But there was one movie I went into cinema to watch without watching the trailer or anything. It was called Andhadhun. Andhadhun, it's an actor called Ayushmann Khurrana is in it. And he's playing a blind piano player. Okay. But he's not really blind. He's acting blind, but he witnesses a murder. It's really interesting. I don't want to ruin the film if you haven't watched it. It's on Netflix. I watched it recently again. I really enjoyed watching that. It was a thriller. I love thrillers, like when you don't know what's going to happen next and there's a twist and all of that. So those kind of movies really excite me. Besides that, all of the Shah Rukh Khan movies.
And there aren't many thrillers in Bollywood, are there?
There are a few, here and there. Not too many. But thrillers, not much.
We don't have many thrillers and horror. in
Yeah,
Bollywood
yeah.
movies.
I guess it's what people enjoy watching.
Yeah.
They love watching romance, comedy. So people will make more of those kind of movies.
Yeah. What is your message to people who want to get into acting?
Don't get into No, if it's really difficult. Like it'll take a lot of time. It'll take a lot of energy, but it can take years, man. It can take years. Just be patient, and if this is what you really want, the people that, if this is not for them, they will give up in the process. They will know, and they will start doing something different. But if this is for you, and if this is something that you're so passionate about, we mentioned passion a lot, passion. But it's actually there. You know, if you have it, then you know what passion, the word passion means to you.
It can be felt. It can't be seen.
Yeah. So if you're really passionate, and stay consistent. Consistency is very, very important. And the moment you give up, it goes back down. Nowadays, like Instagram, TikTok works like that as well. You post, and it goes up. And the moment you're not posting for like 2 months or a month or something, then it goes back down. But if you stay consistent, and it's going up, eventually you'll get somewhere. There has to be some kind of opportunities opening up to you in the process of you going up.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that's made a good future for themselves through acting, through social media, through influencer marketing, through so many stuff. So stay consistent would be the most important. The moment you're not consistent, then it's not for you.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's been for myself as well. There's only been a year and a half that I've been super consistent on TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, even me, I feel like a bit like, do I have to do it? Then I remember why I started it. Then it keeps me going. So yeah, I think I mentioned consistent too many times, but one more time.
I think it's an important word, and it should be mentioned again and again, because consistency is something that, you know, a lot of, personally I lack.
Yeah.
And if I remember it, if I keep hearing it, why not?
It's just like this podcast we're having. If you're consistent with all your podcasts, and you're uploading 1 a day, 2 a day, 3, I mean, not 1 a day, 2 a day, 1 a week, or 1 in a month, like there should be a consistency for yourself as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's true. So what's your message? Your fans, your followers, don't get this opportunity most of the time to actually be able to listen to your opinions, to your views, and your take on a lot of, life issues and things that are going around in the world and around acting or outside acting. What would your message to all your fans and your followers be? That's your camera.
Thank you so much for watching and enjoying most of these recreation videos, or watching movies like Salam London and City Twist. It's a pleasure. It really motivates me to do more the moment you guys are putting any kind of positive comment onto those videos, or resharing it on your story. It doesn't cost anyone to share like a video. I've never asked anyone directly to share my videos or anything, but like the moment you share to someone, that helps the video go much more viral. And it's thanks to you guys that I keep on doing this, because otherwise I would lose interest if you guys are not interested in watching it. So keep supporting and loving, and we'll keep doing as much as we can and give back to you guys.
Great. And what should they wait for?
Upcoming stuff? Well, I have done 3-4 new Indian Bollywood music videos, full feature Bollywood music videos coming soon. So there's a few of those coming. There is many new recreation videos filmed, some outside the UK as well. So those will be coming very, very soon. There will be, we are working on a script at the moment to start the new feature film. So that's under process. Hopefully that we finalize the script and start filming that too. So there will be a lot of new stuff coming. Many new Afghan music videos as well coming soon with some really, really good artists. So there's a lot to wait for. So be patient, and let's keep going.
Excellent. Yeah, great. Thank you very much for being with us, Bizhan John. It was a joy. It was a pleasure to have you on. And to all the viewers, I would like to say, remember the name, Bizhan Neromand. He's a believer, he's a dreamer, and he's a future star. Today and every day that you see him, this is not the end. This is not even the beginning. It's just the interval. Wait for the next blockbuster chapter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us. Thank you.